Welcome to the Shavuot Zoom episode.
Hello boys and girls, and welcome to this pre-Shavuot Zoom experience. We are sure you're going to love every moment of this action-packed program. We're going to visit a dairy farm. We're going to have an adventure story. We're going to meet Rabbi Eli Goodnick, the local scribe, who's going to teach you how a Torah is made, plus some dairy science experiments, cheesecake making, and so much more. As you can see behind me, Shavuot is the time which God gave the Torah to the Jewish people. And it's you, the children, who are the guarantors for us to receive the Torah. And therefore, it's going to be you guys that are going to help lead this pre-Shavuot Zoom experience. So get comfortable, get ready for an experience of a lifetime. We're going to begin by welcoming two wonderful students, Ethan and Miranda. Ethan and Miranda are going to share with us a really fun and easy science experiment using milk in honor of Shavuot. They've made it so it's easy for anyone to follow along and even try at home yourselves. We hope you enjoy this. Ethan and Miranda, all yours. Go for it.
Hi everyone, happy Shavuot.
Because it's Shavuot, we've decided to do
A coloured milk experiment.
This is what you'll need to do the experiment.
Milk,
Food colouring,
dishwashing soap,
cotton buds,
and a plate. First, slowly pour a thin layer of milk onto the plate and cover up the bottom.
Next, pour food colouring in circles on the milk. If you're doing separate colours, make sure that they're separate.
Now get your cotton bud and dip it in the dishwashing liquid. Then place it into the center of the colours. See what happens.
Wow, that looks so cool! Oh my gosh, this is amazing!
Thank you, Ethan and Miranda. That was fantastic. Up next, we would like to welcome the one and only Hebrew Jem's cousin, Abiel. Abiel, together with his father, is going to sing the beautiful prayer of Shema for us, as well as share some inspirational words on Shavuot.
I'm Greg Hurwitz, cousin of the South Caulfield Hebrew congregation.
And I'm Abiel Hurwitz.
On Shavuot, one of the key topics of discussion will be the giving of the Torah to the Jewish people, and why it is that the Jewish people were the lucky ones to receive the Torah. Leading up to the Jews receiving the Torah, Hashem offered the Torah to many other nations. And unfortunately for them, their concern was more about what was in it for them as opposed to what they could do for the Torah. When Moses ascended Mount Sinai to receive the Torah and the Ten Commandments from Hashem, on his return he summoned the elders to lay before them the words of Hashem's Torah. And unanimously, with one mind and one voice, the response of the elders was Naseh v'nishma. We will do whatever is expected of us. One of the fundamental reasons why Hashem agreed to give the Torah to the Jewish people was its guarantors. The guarantors of the Torah are the Jewish children, the future generations, to keep teaching and learning the Torah of Hashem. This is the Eira Kodesh. This is the Torah. This is the home of the Torah in synagogues around the world. It is from here that we take the Torah on Shabbos and on Yom Tov to read to the congregation. I'd like to wish you Chag Sameach, a wonderful Shavuot, and please God, the coming of Mashiach as soon as possible.
Thank you, Greg and Abiel. That was beautiful. We're now going to move live into the homes of some wonderful children who are going to share with us some of their favorite parts of Shavuot, as well as what Shavuot means to them.
I like Shavuot because on Shavuot you get to eat ice cream and cheesecake.
I love eating ice cream on Shavuot, a special time for the Jewish people because we got the Torah.
The receiving of the Torah.
Eating ice cream and waiting for the Torah?
Eating ice cream and waiting for the Torah as well.
Eating the yummy treats, and Shavuot means to me when lots of Jewish people read the Torah.
Favorite thing about Shavuot is the cheesecake and ice cream.
Thank you to those wonderful children of Chabad, Glen, Eira, and Eira Gems for some of your Shavuot highlights. Being that some of your highlights was delicious cheesecake, ice cream, and dairy foods, we have arranged special chef Hannah Lowenstein to come and teach you how to make 2 delicious cheesecakes. Enjoy.
Hi everybody, welcome to our kitchen. We are going to be making 2 delicious cheesecakes for Shavuot, and I hope that you can join along with me and bake together with me, or you can make it later on after you've watched the video and gathered all your ingredients. And we'll also post both recipes for you onto our Facebook page so that you can gather together what you need and make your cheesecakes yourself at home. So our first recipe we're going to be making is a no-bake cheesecake, which means it's really easy. It doesn't even need to go in the oven. You just put it in the fridge when you're done, or you can put it in the freezer and it will sit there and it'll be delicious to eat when you're done. One of the reasons why we have cheesecake on Shavuot is because Hashem gave the Jewish people the Torah on Shabbat. And so when they got all the new laws of keeping kosher, it was Shabbat and they couldn't make their dishes kosher and they couldn't slaughter animals in the right way to be kosher, so they ate dairy instead, and that's why we eat dairy on Shavuot. Another reason is because the Hebrew word for dairy is chalav. Chalav is milk. Here we have a bottle of milk, and the numerical value, which means the numbers that chalav adds up to, is 40. And Moshe went up to the Har Sinai, to Mount Sinai, for 40 days and nights to bring down the Torah to the Jewish people. So let's get started. We're going to start with 1 container of cream cheese. This is 500 grams. I'm going to put it all into my bowl here. And I'm going to add 1 egg. If you don't want to use an egg because you don't want to have raw egg, you can also use a bit of milk instead. The first thing we need to do is check our egg if it's got any blood, because of course if an egg has blood, it's not kosher. So I'm just going to move the yolk from side to side. There's no blood in here. And I'll add that into my bowl. The next ingredient is a tablespoon of vanilla sugar or vanilla essence. I've got both here. You can use whichever one you've got at home. This is vanilla essence, vanilla sugar, and I'm just going to pour in, you're meant to do about a tablespoon into my mixture. So we're going to put a tablespoon of margarine. It doesn't have to be exactly right. It's a very easy recipe, so if it's not perfect, it doesn't really matter. It will still be delicious. The next ingredient is sugar to make our cheesecake yummy and sweet. And we're going to put in half a cup of sugar into our cheesecake, or you can put a little bit more if you want it a bit more sweet. Again, it's a pretty forgiving recipe. It doesn't matter if it's not perfectly measured. And now we're going to mix this all together. So we now have our cream cheese mixture. It's really nice and smooth. I've mixed it all together. It was pretty easy. It only took a few seconds. And this comes the fun part, the assembling of our no-bake cheesecake. So you can either do it in a little pan, or I'm going to show you another way that we're going to make it into a little Har Sinai cake. So we're going to take a piece of silver foil, a nice big piece, and lay it out on your bench, just like that. And then in a bowl, we're going to pour some milk. And now we're going to do the assembling. You're going to need a packet of tea biscuits, or you can use any biscuit really that will work. Vanilla biscuits, chocolate flavored biscuits, whichever flavor you like. And we're going to put them into the milk. just for a couple seconds on either side and lay them out on our foil. This is going to be my first, I'll use these later, this is my first layout for my cheesecake. Now, I'm going to spread some cheese mixture on top. Okay, so here is my cake, and now it's time to put it together into our har sinai. So we have three rows of biscuits. We're going to take our piece of foil, pick it up on two sides, so on both sides, so that one biscuit stays down flat on the bottom, and the two on the sides come together in the middle, and we seal it in the foil. Press the sides together. We're going to fold our foil over. It's going to become a triangle in the end. If it's not perfect, it doesn't really matter because the biscuits are soft, so they won't crumble. I'm going to close it up on both ends. This is my triangle cheesecake. I've got a layer of biscuits at the bottom, two on the sides, and after I put it into the fridge or in the freezer to set and take it out, and then we slice it up, everyone's going to get delicious triangle pieces of cheesecake that remind us of har sinai. The recipe I showed you before, the no-bake cheesecake, which is in my freezer, is really fun, really easy, that anyone can make it at any age. Now I'm going to show you another cake recipe. This one's also really easy, but I think adults will definitely enjoy this cake as well. And this is one that gets baked in the oven. So we're going to start with, again, another container of cream cheese, 500 grams. And I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of sugar and 3 eggs. Again, I'm going to check my eggs to make sure there's no blood in each one. Oops, my hand. Check the yolk, that one was good. Okay, now you can see my cheese mixture is nice and smooth and creamy. All right, so now my mixture is nice and creamy. That was it, just the cream cheese, sugar and eggs. And I'm going to be putting it into this pie crust. It's a ready-made pie crust, which makes life really easy. You can buy it at Coles or any of the kosher supermarkets. And I'm going to put the whole mixture in. I'm going to take my sour cream and I'm going to put half a container of this. So this sour cream is 300 ml. So I'm going to put 150 ml of sour cream into my bowl I've got here. And a tablespoon of vanilla sugar like we used before. If you don't have vanilla sugar, you can also use vanilla essence. Okay, so now I've got my sour cream and my vanilla sugar combined. I'm going to put this cake into the oven on 160 to 180 degrees depending on how hot your oven gets. I'm going to bake mine on 160 degrees on fan bake for 30 minutes. Then I'm going to let it cool for a little while, maybe another 30 minutes, and add my sour cream mixture on top. And then bake it for another 10 to 15 minutes until it looks set and ready, and that's it. Right, so the second part of our cheesecake is done. We've put the sour cream, it's baked for 10 minutes. And now we're gonna let it set on the counter and let it cool down for about an hour.
Hi everybody.
Okay, are you ready to continue?
What is that?
This is a cheese, don't put your finger in it. This is a cheesecake for Shavuot. And we're not going to actually put the toppings on now because there's so many different choices of what you can put on your cheesecake. I'm just going to show you a couple different ideas. One idea that our family loves is cherry pie filling. And you just open the can and spoon it on top before serving, and it's really delicious. Another yummy and easy idea is to drizzle melted chocolate, and here's a really easy way of doing it. We're going to put some chocolate, so these are Para, but you can put some dairy ones too, in a bag, just like this. You can put more if you like. You can have some. Close our Ziploc bag. I'm going to pour some boiling water in my cup here from the kettle, and put my Ziploc bag of chocolate chips inside and leave it there for a minute. Okay, so my chocolate is now melted in the bag, and all I'm going to do is, it's really easy, you just cut a little corner off of the bag And you start to drizzle just like this, but I'm doing it on a plate just to show you.
Yeah.
And make it any design that you want. You can, do crisscross. And that will make your cheesecake look beautiful and taste delicious.
Delicious. Bye. 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 Bye.
Thank you, Hannah, for the delicious cheesecake making, as well as for the beautiful explanation of why we have dairy on Shavuot. We thought we'll give you a little surprise. Not only teach you why we have dairy on Shavuot, but teach you how dairy gets from the dairy farm, from the cows, all the way to our fridges at home. So enjoy this dairy farm experience. We'll just cross over live to John. He's currently in the paddocks. Hello, John, you there? Yeah, I'm ready to start. Hello, boys and girls of Chabad and Gems. How are you doing today? Bit cold out here. Anyways, we've got our beautiful cows out there grazing in the paddock, having a good feed today. Got a few kids over there that's going to give you a bit of a tour of the dairy farm. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll be on my way.
Hi, it's Heidi here with Anna, who's just about to show us the milking parlor. So this is where all the cows on Triple M Dairy get milked. They get milked 3 times a day, which equals about an hour of work every day.
Good deal. And they get paid for it?
Not exactly, but they do get clean beds and fresh feed every single day.
And video games and ice cream, right?
Well, they prefer corn silage. When the cows first come in, they get cleaned and then they get their milking vacuums hooked up to their udders. They get milked for about 3 to 5 minutes, and the whole milking process takes about 20 minutes. They give about 8 gallons a day. Once the cows are done milking, the gates will swing open and they can walk out and a new group comes in. They just walk in on their own. So, as you can see down here, first all of the cows get cleaned with a rag, and then they hook up these milk machines, and the milk comes out of their udder and into this little tank, and it goes through the hoses into a cooling system that cools it down. It's sent to the milk tank, and twice a day the milk trucker comes and picks it up and takes it to bottling facilities where it's tested, bottled, and sent to stores for you to buy. So they seem pretty occupied here. What do they do the rest of the day? They like to hang out in their barns. Why don't we go see it? Sure.
Welcome, Adam. Great to see you here. We would like to invite you to learn the Torah, the beginning of the Torah on of Shavuot with all the children out there.
Hello everyone, my name is Adam and I'm a former student of Hebrew Gems. I'm going to be reading you the first part of Bereshit. Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning of Hashem's creating the heavens and the earth.
Beautiful. Well done, Adam. Welcome back. Being that Shavuot is all about the Torah, us receiving the Torah, we're very honored to have a special guest, Rabbi Eli Gutnick, Melbourne's local scribe, who is going to give us a tour and teach us how the Torah is written. We hope you guys enjoy this.
Oh, hello boys and girls of Chabad Glen Eira and Hebrew Gems children. My name is Rabbi Eli Gutnick and I am a sofer. A sofer is somebody who writes the holy scrolls of the Jewish people, namely Torah scrolls, tefillin and mezuzot. And soon I'm going to show you some things that I do in my workshop and how I make these very special and holy scrolls. So enjoy, and I hope you learn a lot, and I want you guys to have a really great Yontif and a fantastic Shavuos. All the best.
Our finished product, this is our Torah completely sewn together. Wow. And you can see all 62 sheets sewn together, 245 columns of text in one large scroll. And as we roll through it, we can see the seams where they've been joined, and we can see the workmanship, and we can see all of the letters in their beauty. And of course, once it's complete, it's now a very holy object. We must stand up when it is brought into the shul. We must give it respect. It's a custom to kiss the Torah and to respect the Torah. So what we use is, we actually use a feather that comes from a turkey, because a turkey is the strongest of the kosher birds that are available today. And what I do is I just very gently shave off the end so that I have a step ink that's used to write a Torah. And do you mind dipping the feather into the ink?
Is that enough?
That should be fine. So we're doing a hay. And the hay's got the roof, which is called the gag, the regal, which is the foot, and the nakuda, which is the inner part of the hay. Plus we have a little thorn called an oketz on the top left, and a tug, which is a crown, in the middle. So what I'm doing now is actually called Haggah in Hebrew, which means examination. I'm examining the text to make sure that there are no errors and no mistakes. And what I do is I go through each and every letter, and if I find something, I need to repair it.
Thank you, Rabbi Eli Gutnick, for that beautiful demonstration in showing us how a Torah is made. Now, last but not least, sit back, relax, and enjoy a remarkable story in honor of Shavuot. This story is all about saving a Sefer Torah, a Torah scroll. This story takes us back to the times of Stalinist Russia, where it was illegal, forbidden for the Jewish people to practice their Judaism. Can you imagine? Illegal to celebrate Pesach, illegal to eat matzah, illegal to light the menorah, and forbidden to have a bar and bat mitzvah? Well, that's what the Jews are facing back in the times of Russia. This story takes us on an incredible journey with the Sudak family, as them, together with 46 other members of the community, decide to escape these horrible times of Russia. In the beginning of the journey, as they pass through Poland, Rabbi Pinchas Sudak comes across an incredible elderly Jew who finds that this Jewish man has a Sefer Torah, a Torah scroll for sale. Rabbi Sudak thinks to himself, unbelievable, incredible. Here we are, a large group of Jewish people escaping to be able to live as free Jews, and we have an opportunity to take a precious Torah scroll with us on our journey. Rabbi Sudak immediately reached into his pocket, pulling out whatever money he had left. He gave it to this elderly Jew, bought the Torah scroll, and took it on the journey. It was a long, hard, difficult, cold journey throughout the forest. Rabbi Sudak held tightly onto the Torah throughout the whole journey. Him, together with his wife and 3 children, journeyed throughout the night. His wife was holding the youngest child, of which after many hours she found it too difficult and too heavy to hold. She turned to her husband, Rabbi Pinchas Sudak, and said, "Dear husband, I can no longer hold our baby anymore. It is getting too difficult." Rabbi Sudak understood that it was either him to hold the child or the Torah. Obviously, the child. Rabbi Pinchas Sudak went to a tree to lay the Torah down. With tears in his eyes, giving the Torah one last hug, he put the Torah, placed it under a tree. He took his child and continued the journey. Finally, thank God, the journey was successful and they made it to freedom. They settled in the land of Israel. 50 years later, Rabbi Pinchas Sudak's daughter, who was a grandmother, was visiting friends in California. During one of her visits, one of her friends told her that she remembers a story that when their family left Russia many years earlier, her younger sister went missing during their escape, during the travels through the forest. And while she was missing, the family, in search of her, came across the Sefer Torah, a Sefer Torah that was hidden in the forest. They then took this Torah, strapped it around them, and brought it all the way to the United States of America, where it is used today and read from every single Shabbat. As Rabbi Surek's daughter Batsheva was listening to this story, she had tears rolling down her eyes. She couldn't believe what she heard. This was the same Torah that her father left and abandoned in the midst of the forest in order to save her and carry her. She was so glad to hear that Torah had been rescued by another family. That wraps up the pre-Shavuot Zoom experience. We hope you have enjoyed it. We would also like to thank all those wonderful children for your incredible presentations throughout the evening. Remember, after this, go to cgems.org.au in order to enter into some incredible Shavuot competitions, including heaps of Cold Rock vouchers available to you all. There are also some international Shavuot competitions with grand prizes that you can enter into. Until then, we wish you a happy Shavuot and Chag Sameach, and enjoy those cheesecakes.